Okay, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a bit of the Pigeon Lake area. This is one of the most popular lakes in Central Alberta. It's located about 110 kilometers southwest of Edmonton and about the same distance northwest of Red Deer. Pigeon Lake sits on the boundary between Leduc County and the County of Wetaskiwin. And this is my next entry in what is becoming a series of videos on different prairie lakes. I've already covered Little Manitou Lake in Saskatchewan, also known as the Dead Sea of Canada. I've done a few videos on the mystical Lac St. Anne and its surrounding area, as well as a video on Wabamun Lake, which has a really interesting history. So recently, I've actually been delayed on some prairie road trips that I've planned on taking, primarily due to wildfire smoke and even rain in some cases. But last week, I had a chance to take a quick trip out to Pigeon Lake. The weather was excellent. I hadn't been out here since I was a kid, and I thought I'd do a short video on one of the most popular lakes in Alberta. At 96.7 square kilometers, Pigeon Lake is the largest of the lakes that I've covered so far on my channel. And what set this lake apart for me personally was just how many different communities surround this lake. 10 different summer villages, as well as 4 unincorporated communities. There's also a big provincial park on the west end of the lake. A lot of people live out here and it's a very popular place to visit. I was here in the middle of the week and it still seemed relatively busy. Pigeon Lake was originally called Woodpecker Lake, and this was changed to Pigeon Lake in 1858. In 1896, the Pigeon Lake Indian Reserve was established on the southeastern shores, and in 1924, the summer village of Mameo Beach was established on the south end of the lake from land that was obtained from the reserve. As a side note, the word Mameo is the Cree word for pigeon. Pigeon Lake is also the site of Rundle's mission. So in the mid-19th century, the lake was a major gathering place for First Nations peoples, as well as missionaries attempting to convert them to Christianity. In 1847, Reverend Robert Rundle, who had been working out of Fort Edmonton, received permission to establish a mission at the lake. This was supported by the Hudson's Bay Company, as well as the Wesleyan Missionary Society. Besides the mission, there was also a Hudson's Bay Company post at the lake, as well as numerous agricultural initiatives started by the mission. Apparently, Mr. Rundle did not quite view himself as a company man or a strong government representative. Instead, it seems like he genuinely sought to help the local First Nations people survive the incoming European settlement. When the Hudson's Bay Company pressured him to establish mission schools, he spent time looking for an appropriate site, but he intentionally did not establish a mission school at the lake. After only a year of establishing the mission, Mr. Rundle took a bad fall from a horse and seriously injured his arm. It did not heal properly, and he returned to England to seek proper medical attention. After he left, one of his followers named Benjamin Sinclair took over, but the church was abandoned in 1850. Methodist Reverend Thomas Woolsey opened the church again for a short time in 1855, but it was once again abandoned due to the area's poor suitability for farming. And then nearly 100 years later, the Reverend Dr. Gerald Hutchinson moved to Pigeon Lake in 1948 and inquired why a local lake access point was called Mission Beach. Reverend Hutchinson spent several years researching this area and discovered the history of the original mission. In 1965, Mr. Hutchinson's work exploring Rundle's mission was recognized, and the site was dedicated as a National Historic Monument. Like I mentioned, I hadn't been to this area since I was a kid, and I'd never been to the north side of Pigeon Lake, and so I started my visit at the Rundle's Mission Historic Site. Here you'll find a large monument commemorating the mission, as well as an interpretive boardwalk, and then right beside the mission you'll find a nature reserve with beautiful walking trails. Right beside Mission Beach is Sundance Beach, which features a newly renovated community center with a pickleball court and playground directly behind it. The summer village of Itasca Beach is right beside Sundance. This is a very pleasant area and one of many small communities around the lake. To the southeast of Itasca is the summer village of Golden Days. This features the private community of Vaza Lodge, as well as Camp Barvanok. I'm probably not saying that correctly, and this is a Ukrainian Orthodox camp. Further southeast down the shore is the community of Mulhurst. This is the largest village on the north side of the lake. It features a popular community center with various sports fields. You'll also find the Pigeon Lake Golf Club and RV Park, as well as various restaurants, stores, and parks. A few people mention Mulhurst Bay Books and Gifts. They also serve ice cream here, and it seems like a very popular spot. And these are just a few spots on the north side of Pigeon Lake. This area is generally not as busy as the south side, and it was interesting exploring this area a bit. I then moved down to the south side of the lake, which is typically the busiest area for visitors and tourists. Mameo Beach is the most popular beach at the lake. Even in the middle of the day on a weekday, it was quite busy. Around the public beach, you'll also find Jubilee Park and the popular Pier 6 ice cream shop. This is not a big community, but you'll find a fairly large library, a big community hall, as well as the local Legion building. I don't know, personally I've always found these small town Legion buildings interesting. Mameo Beach has also popped up a few times in popular culture. During her tour of Western Canada in the late 1970s, English recording artist Joan Armatrading saw a road sign for the beach and liked the name so much that she used it for a song title on her 1980 album Me, Myself, I. Back in 2012, Edmonton-based musician Christian Hansen released a song and music video using this village's name. As a side note, I'm a personal fan of Christian Hansen, especially his lesser-known work as Baby Drayton, which you can easily find on YouTube. At any rate, Mameo Beach is one of the most popular spots at Pigeon Lake, and they have an excellent public beach. And then just to the west of Mameo Beach is the also popular village at Pigeon Lake. This area features a resort with a full spa as well as a large amount of accommodations, bed and breakfast, a bunch of restaurants, and many other amenities. I don't know, in my opinion, this area almost has a mountain resort vibe. The village at Pigeon Lake is the busiest commercial area around the lake, and it's definitely worth stopping by. Directly northwest of the village, you'll find several other communities along the lake, including the beautiful Crystal Springs, the summer village of Grandview, and several well-maintained lakeside parks. And then finally, on the west side of the lake, you'll find the Pigeon Lake Provincial Park. This features large camping areas, a public boat launch, a beautiful public beach, as well as various parks, playgrounds, and extensive walking trails. It's really a beautiful spot, and it has expansive wilderness areas to explore. And that's pretty much going to wrap this one up. This is just my 2 cents as a tourist. I definitely haven't spent as much time here as I have at other lakes in Alberta, but I'm glad I visited this area again. This lake has a lot to offer visitors. There are many options for camping and accommodations, a bunch of excellent shops and restaurants, and of course many ways to get out in the water and enjoy the lake itself. You may have never been here, or maybe it's been a while, but either way I would definitely recommend taking a trip to Pigeon Lake. I hope you found this one interesting. If you haven't already, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload a variety of Canadian content, and I upload something new about once a week. If you want to support my channel further, you can buy me a coffee, and there's a link to that below. I'd also greatly appreciate any tips and recommendations from people that live at the lake or maybe know this area better than I do. Please feel free to leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Strange North channel.